much. Even as a kid, when I saw my first, like, when I first realized the concept of gemstones, you know what I'm saying? When you see a mine, and as I got older, my mind started really getting deeper on it. Like, when you look at a mine and what we do, regardless of what it's for rocks, it's for coal, whatever, you put a big ass hole in the ground, right? That hole always ends up collapsing on itself so many years later, right?
Right.
How long does it take for you to put so many holes in this motherfucker before it has no other choice but to collapse on itself?
I seen that. Joe Rogan was talking about that. Those craters.
And this is what I thought about as a kid before I even started, before podcasts were, when podcasts were fresh, like you had to be an internet type of motherfucker to know what a podcast was.
Did you see that video where the guy, he zoomed into a certain barren land? And there was ripples in that land, okay? Now, he measured those lands. Yeah.
I sent that one to you. One to you.
Okay, regardless, we're going to talk about it. Regardless, those lands, those ripples were about the size of almost a fucking county or a state or half, you know what I'm saying, a quarter of a state. And there was multiple, and they were all filled with water. And guess what? It was washed up water from a massive wave.
Full of salt, all that sand.
And we don't know when that wave hit or whatever, but it just hit. Think if that wave or that land hit us landmass, a regular, you know, I don't want to say Tacoma or Seattle, I want to say different. Timbuktu somewhere.
2 miles high.
It would take out the whole civilization, man. Nature is a beast not to be fucked with. That's a future fear. You know, we can fear about AI and technology all we want, but the natural fears, the natural disasters is the worst. But that gets back to man-made weather. So actually, technology does play a role. It's scary. Man's trying to fucking control everything.
Who knows, really? But just as a kid, I'm not even.
I got something for you.
Like I said, I never just because I grew up knowing. Well, should I say I grew up hearing? You know, like I said, I grew up in a heavy Christian household, so I grew up hearing, damn near my whole life, we living in our last days, and to actually.
Oh, he's back.
And to actually see what my parents were talking about, now that I'm living as an adult, I could say, and seeing it's kind of spooky. It's kind of spooky because you're seeing some shit that wasn't happening with their generation. Like, as you know what I'm saying, as I was growing up, you know what I'm saying, toward you know what I mean.
One thing about that I rationalize is that every person, every generation think they're going through the worst times. They always say they go through that times. Like, think about World War II, World War I. Those are some scary times. The concentration camps with the Koreans.
You can't even compare that to
Japanese,
now.
Wasn't it?
You can't even compare it, but like it's literally a fucking there's a fucking warfare going on right now, and if you're smart enough to recognize it, please do. I'm not even going to... Maybe that's for next episode.
They say never to compare. That's for
pain. You know what I'm saying? That's for next episode and shit.
Why compare pain? You know what I mean? Why compare disaster, pain, and despair? It's all the same thing at the end. I think every generation does go through an end times moment. And are we in a cycle? I think we are going through some crazy shit. But our parents thought the same thing. We're living in the last times. They've been saying that before we was born.
Yeah.
Is it now getting to a head though? That's I guess that's what we're talking about, right?
Like I said, y'all part of this session. It's a hot box in here. It's a hot box for real. I
was gonna say something earlier, man, but I forgot. And you know, if it comes back, it's gonna be real. But it's a different topic. But they had a little segment where AI basically distributed a movie of how the end times would be.
Well, that's like...
And an AI made a movie of how the end times would be.
And we never thought... And that's scary. That's the type of shit we saw. Like Terminator. That's the type of shit we saw as kids.
But the AI program made the movie. Once AI start making movies...
And tell you how it plans on doing shit? Come on, bruh. Have you heard them conversations? Crazy.
Yeah, that shit.
Crazy.